We have three topics to talk about on today's edition of the Red Sox Rundown. The first one, is there no traction on an Eugenio Suarez signing? Then we got two other things we're going to talk about in today's video as well. Not a lot of movement over the past week or so. It's been kind of boring, but we did get a few news and nuggets over the weekend that I did want to talk about. So we're going to talk about them in today's edition of the Red Sox Rundown. I'm your host, Jack Lotteray. Thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. Before we do that, I got to ask the question. Hall of Fame announcements happened today. Congratulations to Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones for being elected to the Hall of Fame. One little Dustin Pedroia, our favorite little second baseman, is on the ballot. He actually had an almost 10% bump from last year, up to 20.7% of the votes, which, if you don't know, you got to get to 75% to be elected into the Hall of Fame. Should Dustin Pedroia be in the Hall of Fame? I'm not saying this year. I'm not saying next year. With the trajectory of votes added, he should be in the Hall of Fame within the next 5 to 6 years if it continues at that rate. I think he should be a Hall of Famer. But do you think Dustin Pedroia should be a Hall of Famer? Wire for yes if you do, and for no if you do not. Let me know. I think a lot of us are going to say yes because he's our boy. He's my boy. He's my favorite Red Sox player. I know he's a lot of your favorite Red Sox players. So why for yes and for no, let me know down below. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of today's video. No Eugenio Suarez traction. We got an update today from Chris Cotillo, and it read this. Another Red Sox update from the weekend. As of the weekend, very little traction when it came to Eugenio Suarez. Someone actually asked him in the replies, was he talking about just the Red Sox or was he talking about the league and his market as a whole? And Cotillo, said the Red Sox. So it's not his market, it's the Red Sox. And I've talked about this ad nauseum this offseason. Of all the options to replace Alex Bregman, this would be the worst. I'm sure Eugenio's a great dude. I got nothing against him as a person, but he is just not a player that profiles well for this Red Sox team, not a player that I would want on this Red Sox team. If you look at his 2025 stats, on paper, you're looking at me and you're saying, Jack, like almost 50 homers, 824 OPS, over 100 RBIs, the 126 OPS plus. What are you talking about, Jack? Well, he strikes out way too much. 196 Ks in 2025. Oh, my Lord. 176 in 2024. 214 in 2023. And that little star means he led his respective league. That's not good. 2022, 196. Also led his respective league. In 2021, 171 Ks. The whole point I want to make around Eugenio Suarez is this. And I've made this point quite a few times on the channel. His profile is everything that you don't want for the Red Sox. What the Red Sox are trying to get is power, which he does profile, yes, granted, but also run prevention, which means good defense, which he does not play. He does not play good defense at all. And getting on base and not striking out. And as we just saw with his strikeout numbers, he does that a lot. So he would be an option that, sure, 50 home runs, that would be incredible. He would profile well to the Green Monster. Like, that would be great. But, do we really want to add another 200 strikeout player that doesn't play good defense to replace Alex Bregman? I wouldn't do that. There's far better options out there that the Red Sox could go after. Now, they're all trades. You'd have to make a trade. Eugenio Suarez would be a free agent signing. But I also think that the Red Sox are probably more inclined to make a trade than do a free agent signing because they've already added so much money, especially after the Ranger Suarez signing. Ketel Marte is a better option. Now, I do have the asterisk there because we don't know if he's available or not. But, if you gave a good enough offer to the D-backs, they'd certainly say yes. Isaac Paredes, probably the best option. We'll talk about him here in a second. Brendan Donovan, Nico Horner, and then you've got a bunch of internal options as well. There are better options than Eugenio Suarez, and that update from Chris Cotillo makes me feel better that they are potentially not going to be going after him in free agency. You let me know, though. You make the call. You play Craig Breslow for me. Would you sign Eugenio Suarez? S for sign if you would. P for pass if you would not. I am typing P for pass, but you let me know. You play the GM. Would you sign Eugenio Suarez? Jarren Duran Let's talk about him. There was a report about him this weekend as well. Is a Jarren Duran trade off? We've kind of talked about this a little bit on the channel at this point, speculated about it, but Ken Rosenthal had a really kind of notable piece over the weekend about Jarren Duran. Here's what he had to say about the Kansas City Royals. The Kansas City Royals are increasingly unlikely to land either of the two hitters they've pursued in trades, the St. Louis Cardinals' Brendan Donovan and the Boston Red Sox's Jarren Duran. So that is significant because there were the talks all off season long about, you know, the Royals really want Duran, and could Cole Reagans, could it Chris Bubich, could one of those starters be in a package? Like, we've been talking about that all off season long. And, look, I really thought that Duran was going to get traded, but at this point, unless he's the headliner for an Isaac Paredes trade, which we're going to talk about here in a second, I don't think Duran's going to go anywhere. I think he's going to be on the Red Sox in 2026. And, that's a good thing. He had a pretty good 2025. Was it 2024 All-Star Game MVP level Jarren Duran? No. But he still hit over 250, a 774 OPS, 16 bombs, 84 RBIs, a 118 OPS plus. He led, or I believe was tied, with the most triples in the league. Jarren Duran is still a stud. We've talked about trading him all off season long. And the reason why is because when you look at the four, he was the odd man out defensively. But he's still over a 4 WAR player offensively. So, them not trading him is actually probably more of a net positive than it is a net negative. Now, look, in a perfect world, and this is what should be happening. It's not, but this is what should be happening. In a perfect world, all 4 outfielders are on the team this next season getting consistent at-bats. Roman Anthony, Ceddanne Rafaela, Wilyer Abreu, Jarren Duran. That would be a perfect world. The problem is that you have Ceddanne Rafaela still on this team. Not Ceddanne, excuse me. Masataka Yoshida still on this team, taking up the DH spot. My ideal world, you find a way to offload Yoshida, and then you keep the 4 outfielders. The outfield logjam is over. You've got one of them slotted in DH every single night. That's my ideal world. Is that the world we live in? No. But it does seem increasingly unlikely, unless Duran is the headliner of a Paredes trade, that he's going to get traded this offseason. Now, if a trade does happen, we are going to make a video. We've made videos on the Sonny Gray trade, the Wilson Contreras trade. We did a video on the Ranger Suarez signing. We've done it all here at the Red Sox Rundown. And my goal, and I've been saying it, but I actually want to put some numbers to it. I want to get to 10,000 subscribers by opening day. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of this channel. If we could get to 10,000 subscribers before the 1-year anniversary, which is Valentine's Day, by the way, that would be awesome. To grow a channel to 10K subscribers in 1 year is incredible. We are currently at 8,586 subs. 1,414 away. That's a very, very symmetrical number there. We need it to go down, but I like where we're at. 1,414 subscribers. If you've not already hit that subscribe button, if you have already hit that subscribe button, you're like, Jack, I've already hit it. What can I do? Take the link to this video, send it to a friend, and say you've got to subscribe to this channel, because we bring you the best, the most consistent, the best content on YouTube. And when the season starts, daily recap shorts and daily videos are back. You're not going to want to miss it. So hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 10K by opening day. Is Isaac Paredes the answer? I think this is kind of what everyone is this is the outcome that we're all kind of coming down to now, is that Isaac Paredes might be the answer. We actually got an update from Chandler Rome, who covers the Astros, on where things stand with Isaac Paredes and the Red Sox. There is nothing close. There is nothing imminent. That has not accelerated anything. He had a few lines and then he continued. There are other teams not named the Red Sox that have inquired on Isaac Paredes. I'd be lying if I said I know who they are, but I do know that there are other teams. He continued on. What the Astros are intrigued by from the Red Sox is their surplus of young outfielders. I know we've talked about Jarren Duran here. I think Duran on paper profiles to what the Astros would need. I would also offer you Wilyer Abreu. Wilyer Abreu is someone they know a lot better than Duran. He also added that Wilyer is cheaper than Duran, which is true. I would offer you Wilyer Abreu as someone that maybe intrigues them a little bit more. Very, very interesting. Now, Wilyer's been in trade talks this offseason as well. They both have been. I mean, they've mentioned Cedon too, but it really has been one of Duran or Abreu. I've mentioned Duran more on the channel because I think it'd make more sense. I think that Wilyer is probably more valuable overall than Duran is. He's also cheaper than Duran is. But I could see a reason why a team would want Abreu over Duran. Now, Paredes might be, and I think he probably is, the best non-Bo Bichette option. Bo Bichette obviously is no longer on the market, but he's probably the next best thing now that Bo Bichette is gone. Like last season, not a bad year. You know, kind of around the same stats as a Duran, which is why I think you can like flip him and Duran, but I digress. An 809 OPS, 20 home runs, 53 RBIs. He profiles really, really well to Fenway, especially that power profile. He loves to hit homers into the Crawford boxes. What do you got in left field? The Green Monster. It would work really, really well. But is Wilyer Abreu worth it, though? Like, is Isaac Paredes worth Wilyer Abreu? I think Duran might be a little bit of an overpay for Isaac Paredes. Like, Paredes is good, but he's only got 2 years left. And he's not like this like perfect prospect. He's average defensively. You know, like his hit tool is good, but it's not great. It is the power you'd probably want to bring in. But I think like Duran and Abreu are probably more valuable players. You'd probably have to get more back in that case. But like, let's talk about Wilyer specifically, though. I think he's more valuable. Call me crazy. I think he's more valuable than Duran as a whole. The stats are good. The average is not going to blow you out of the water. It's actually gotten worse as years have gone on, but the OPS has gone up. The home runs have gone up. The RBIs have gone up, and he's got a career 118 OPS plus. Like that's good, and there's a lot of projecting that you can do with Wilyer Abreu. On top of that, he's a 2-time Gold Glove winner in his first 2 years. It seems a little rich for me. I don't think Paredes is worth a 2-time Gold Glove winner with legit 40 home run potential. And then, like, if you were to trade Abreu for Paredes, you're just continuing the same problem that you already had. Because Abreu has the home run potential. Duran, I don't think, has as much home run potential as Abreu does. And you're bringing in Paredes to kind of fix that, but he doesn't offer as much home run pop as I think Abreu does. Like, that doesn't make any sense. What you need to do is you have to offload Yoshida. Because, like, you could fix a lot of these problems with Yoshida not on the team anymore. Like, I would be so much more confident going into this season if Yoshida wasn't on the team. And I get he's really good contact-wise, but he doesn't offer you really any power. He doesn't offer you really anything in the field either. Like, I know he can play the outfield, but you've got 4 people that can already play the outfield. What you need to do is you need to take your 4 outfielders, and they all need to have consistent at-bats. If you end up trading nobody, but you offload Yoshida, that's fine. But, to tie this all in a bow, because I do feel like I'm going a little bit all over the place here. I don't know if Paredes is worth Abreu. Duran, maybe, but I still think that might be a little bit of an overpay. The Astros have the leverage here, and that's your mistake for not re-signing Alex Bregman, is that teams now know that they have the leverage because they know that you're desperate. But you should offload Yoshida, though, because that would make this equation a whole lot easier. Would you trade Wilyer Abreu for Isaac Paredes? We kind of went all over the place at the end of there, but I just had a bunch of thoughts I had to get out. Would you trade Wilyer Abreu for Isaac Paredes? T for trade if you would trade him. K for keep if you would keep him. You let me know down below in the comments. Play GM one more time and let me know your thoughts. That's where we're going to end it, folks. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this edition of the Red Sox Rundown. As I have said already, if you enjoyed, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are going to continue to come to you guys every single day with the latest, the greatest, the best Red Sox news, rumors, and analysis. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And until next time, go Sox.